I'm an IBS lady.
Yeah.
Like,
You've seen a lot of shit.
I've seen a lot of loose shit in my life.
Loose stool.
At this point, I'm probably one of the best diarrhea-ers around.
Yeah.
Put that on a shirt.
I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm doing my best.
I just pressed record.
Exciting.
It is exciting, Casey. It's exciting that I'm here to tell the tale and that we have, this is like the very first crossover ep.
It's the first crossover ep of this podcast.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Well, but like, yeah, obviously. What, like, I know obviously other people do whatever the fuck they want, but
Have done
sure, guys, we're not reinventing the wheel here. We literally started a podcast like after podcasts were closed. Like
Closed.
we were done. But you know who I had a podcast with when podcasts were babies?
Yes, I do know.
I know.
Steve Agee. Who is it?
You and I.
You came to me
Yeah.
and were like, because you're in that world, the comedy guys doing stand-up and being funny, and like they were all the first ones. It's like how Twitch stream, all like these gamer bros are like all the first ones on Twitch stream, and they're making like $4 billion.
Yeah.
I feel like all the comedy guys got in on that podcast vibe super early.
Yeah. I think so.
But you came to me because you were like, you always have something wrong with you, and I always have something wrong with me.
Yeah. We had the conversation at Largo.
Should we do a podcast?
You're like, yes.
Yeah,
You're like,
100%.
I'm in.
I didn't even fucking know what it was, but it was so fun.
Well,
Yeah.
let's tell the people in case you weren't fans. I'm sure you all were fans, but in case you weren't, Steve Agee, our guest co-host today and a longtime friend of Busy's, and I'm happy to say now friend of mine,
Yeah.
who's not just a comedy guy anymore. He's like a giant movie star. But Steve and Busy
on
had
on the TV show.
and on the
TV,
TV.
more so.
Well,
And-
whatever, streaming.
Yeah.
That's TV.
But they had a podcast called We're No Doctors, We're No Docs that I know
Yeah.
a lot of you were fans of.
Yeah.
Based on your medical maladies.
And so anyway,
Yeah.
and it was good.
It was fun. Some
It was
great
fun, and
guests.
we did, and we talked to people about like wild medical situations they found themselves in.
Oh, I still think about some of the people we had on, like, and just get shivers. Nicole Sullivan, I'm still like, ugh.
I mean, I always think about that because Nicole Sullivan. Now, what year was this that we were doing that, Steve?
17.
2017. Yeah,
Maybe,
that sounds
yeah.
right. Nicole was like one of the only cases in Los Angeles of swine flu,
No, H1N1.
Oh, no.
H1N1, and she
Yeah.
almost died. She literally almost died. She was like,
She was in a coma.
she was in a coma. She was in a
my
medical
God.
coma, and she tells us the whole story.
Ugh.
And I knew this because like I was good friends with her, but Krista Miller from Cougar Town and Nicole go way back, and we were doing Cougar Town at the time, and like it happened like sort of over the break. But when we came back to shooting, one day after work, we went to the hospital to visit her,
Oof.
and once she had been downgraded from like the coma, intensive care, and it was just horrible. Like it was just terrible. It's terrible. But then also, Robbie Benedict talked about his stroke, which was super interesting.
Wow.
God, the fragility of life. I wonder
I was
if
feeling it.
that podcast helped us or hurt us.
Well, I do remember thinking, Steve, like right when I stopped doing it with you.
Yeah.
Because then Steve went on and continued doing it for a while, but it was never the same.
No, it was not.
For you or for everyone?
I don't know. I'm just.
I was
saying
just bored. I had to do something. I was just bored.
that. I mean,
Oh
we're
my
all
gosh.
just bored.
But you were saying after you stopped doing it.
Oh, I was just like, I felt like that was right. Like I had to stop talking about constantly things being wrong with me.
Yeah.
Like that I was like causing more. I don't know. I just all of a sudden was like, this can't be good for
You're
us. We gotta stop.
manifesting illnesses.
Yeah, we got to stop. We got to stop this shit.
I get it.
But I did think it was super interesting and really fun. And then this past weekend, as I was recovering, listeners at home, from my past week of horrendous medical maladies, I was texting with Steve. And Steve, what happened to you?
I'm on the tail end of COVID.
You finally got it.
I thought I would avoid it. I really hunkered down.
I actually can't believe you got it.
I can't either. I hunkered down for 2 fucking years. I think the worst part of it was the depression I got just knowing that I fucked up and got it.
You did not fuck up and get it. You did, Steve.
Yeah.
I mean,
fucked around and found out.
But I'm here to tell you that's like so many people I think are feeling the same way. And I think that it just is a testament to like, no matter how careful you are and how much you try to use your judgment, which is, by the way, why everyone keeps saying to continue to be careful, because when you're using really strong judgment and trying to avoid it, it could still get you.
Oh man, I got cocky. Yeah.
I don't think you did, unless you have like a specific, like you're like, I just had one day, I was restless, I went out and I just breathed a bunch of people's breath.
My friends were like, let's go out to Joshua Tree. We're in town. Let's record some music. And I have a friend with a studio out there. And I was like, I don't know. And they're like, the numbers are really low right now, since as low as they've been since the beginning. Granted, we are starting another spike. Right. And I was like, yeah, all right, I'll go do it. I'm vaccinated and boosted. And 2 days after getting back, I woke up with a sore throat and I could just tell. It's weird. I now tell my friends who haven't gotten it, who get paranoid every time they get a scratchy throat. I'm like, you kind of know. I'm like,
you just know.
This is
That's what you felt like.
Yeah, I was like, this is a different sore throat. And sure enough, I had COVID.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And now, did you feel miserable the whole time, or you were pretty okay?
2 days were really bad. Day 2 and day 3. I mean, it turned around really quickly, but I did lose my sense of smell and taste for 4 days, which was a bummer.
I don't love
that. That means you're going to go on to do pretty well in Top Chef.
They're back, so I'm happy.
Do you guys know about that? There's a guy on Top Chef that's been hiding that he has no smell or taste the entire time because he had COVID, and he's been doing pretty well.
Wow.
He's done pretty well in the competition.
I do wonder. I mean, remember, Steve, I lost my sense of smell from the sinus.
Yeah, I remember
stuff.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, and that was weird and really disconcerting. And it was like a real thing that was bumming me out.
It's depressing.
So hard.
Yeah.
Like I just hated it. I wanted to smell things. I don't know, man. Casey, you still haven't gotten it.
I mean, thanks for jinxing
Knock
me.
wood. I still haven't gotten it. Knock wood. I just knocked wood. I don't know if that does anything.
When I came to visit you on, what was it, New Year's Day or something? Or
also Joshua Tree.
Yeah, also Joshua Tree. I was pretty convinced that, because you tested me there because I couldn't get a test in Los Angeles, and you tested me and tested my husband, and I was pretty convinced that you were going to be like, oh shoot, you have it, get back in the car and leave. Just because I had like some other something that I picked up. But you know what? I've gotten sick like 2 to 3 minor times since this whole shenanigans have been going on. And every time I get something else, it reminds me that it just as easily could have been COVID.
Oh.
And it just hasn't been.
Yeah.
Well, so last week,
Yeah.
I had like the best job for money of all time, like commercial job. I was working with Rayo's homemade sauce. Steve, do you know what
Oh
kind
yeah,
it is?
I love them.
Oh, it's the best.
Yeah.
And genuinely buy it at the store.
It's pronounced Rayos. I always say Rouse.
Yeah. Nope, it's Rayo's.
Okay, good to know.
And I also always said Rouse until last summer. I did a thing for them, like for a charity initiative that they do.
Yeah.
Sauce for Cause online. I like on Instagram. And when I did like my little briefing with them before that, they were like, so, it's pronounced Rayo's. I was like, I did not. Who knows that? Get yourself some commercials, baby.
Yeah.
Anyway, they're not sponsoring this podcast, guys. The only point, my point is, I had been feeling really good. I was like back on my workout train,
Yeah.
back doing my shit. I'm trying to get out of this depression, Steve. I've been in. It's been
Me
dark
too.
days. Dark
Yeah,
days.
Me too.
I gained a bunch of weight.
Me
I was
too.
having all this shit. I fell off a real cliff this past, I don't know, 7-8 months. Guys, you listen
Yeah.
to the podcast. What do you think? How long have I been depressed?
How long has Busy if you have to go back?
It's been
And
2
listen.
solid years for me.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like so many people feel like you guys are saying that you feel, and I also feel like so many people are like, "Oh, I'm exactly the same," meaning that they were probably all deeply depressed before.
Hold, please. There.
Hold
for silence.
hold for
Hold for
fire
the sirens.
engine.
Where are you? Are you in New York?
We live in New
In-
York now.
I know
In
that,
New York
but
City.
I thought you were
Hate it.
having moving into new place problems at one point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
you're in your new place.
yeah.
Cool. You
This
like
isn't
it?
it though.
Okay. So you're not in your new place.
That's
This
I'll
is
explain
this
to
is
Steve. This is
affectionately called Casa Kismet.
Casa Kismet.
Okay. Looks cool.
A little
nice.
office, a little place to
Extra closet.
record podcasts.
When I do the Today Show on Wednesday night, I'm sleeping in Casa Kismet. I'm not dealing with those kids in the morning. I'm trying to get my
No.
hair and makeup done, get out the door. Actually, I wouldn't even see them. And the chances are that I would wake all the people coming in to do my hair and makeup would wake them up, and Gina
Yeah.
would get crazy and
Barky.
barky, and it just would not be
Are you doing it
the
remotely?
vibe. No, we're going,
You're going in.
person.
You have to go. See?
I don't know
I have
how
to do
it
a bunch
works
of stuff.
anymore.
I don't know.
Wear a mask on the Today Show. I think that would be such a statement.
I'm doing a thing
And be like-
tonight, and I'm not wearing a mask, but we'll see.
Is it
I
a lot of people in person?
I don't know. I actually don't know. I'm gonna.
Interesting.
I'll see. You know who I'm talking with? It's very interesting. I was honored to be asked to be the person in conversation with her.
Who?
The woman who was the lawyer that argued the case that made abortion legal in Colombia.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
Okay. All right.
Awesome.
And started the green wave. You know what? That's what they call it in South America. They're calling it the green wave, which is she had this green scarf, and then everybody started wearing green.
Showing up with green scarves.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice. Okay. Well,
Um,
that's worth going maskless.
I think it's worth risking it all for.
Yeah.
Anyway,
you
no,
know.
I actually think it'll be. Whoa, breaking news. The New York Times. Most Americans have had the coronavirus at least once, the CDC said. By February, nearly 60% had shown signs of
60.
exposure.
Wow.
You guys are special.
I like the other study that said that, or it was an epidemiologist that was they were trying to get to the bottom of why people who haven't had coronavirus haven't had it, if there was a biological reason, and he was like, it's probably that you just don't have friends.
I have a friend who's
And I was
convinced she
like-
hasn't gotten it because she smokes
Oh God.
Weed
Well,
because she smokes weed.
cigarettes.
Oh,
early
there was
on, I think they said that there was a protective effect from smoking cigarettes. I mean, they said a lot of things,
Yeah.
but that like horse paste
Well,
or whatever.
as the doctor that I saw last week, who I love, said to me, could be COVID. No one knows anything about this.
Oof.
And I was like,
okay.
oh, cool.
Not what you want to hear.
Great. No. I mean, like, I appreciated it. I appreciated the honesty. So anyway,
Yeah.
shall we get into my ailment?
Let's hear about it. Let's hear about your ailment.
So I was going to Rayo's, to the saucery, and I was like just doing some interviews, which were mostly remote, by the way, the interviews.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's neither here nor there, guys. Doesn't impact the story much. As we got in the car, I was like, ugh, my back feels weird. Like it hurts. Huh, that's weird. And Kendra, who has done my makeup for a long time, was like, babe, here, do you want some Advil? I've got Advil. She always has everything on her. So I took some Advil. I went and did the job, which is like a pretty intense, when you do those things like commercial jobs like that, like I was basically there talking for, I think like 3 hours, maybe.
Yeah, it's a lot.
It's a lot of talking. And like, you're just sort of there and you just like, it's like one after another. You get like a break every, I don't know, maybe 45 minutes or something. You know what I mean?
Sure. It's like being a Disney World costumed character
Okay.
Sure.
in a way.
I don't know. Maybe. Sort of.
Like you
Minnie Mouse.
have time that you have to spend with people, and then they let you take your head off for a little while to catch your breath, and then the head goes back on and you're back talking to kids.
I follow that. But yes. Well, anyway, so I got in the car to go home and I was like, we feel weird. I feel weird. I was like, oh no. But no throat, no nose, no stuffiness, like I just fell off.
Mm-hmm.
Like just started to feel like I couldn't get comfortable. And I got back to the house and Steve had been doing this like meal delivery to help me like just keep it
Cool.
keep it clean.
Keep it real.
Yeah. And I like looked at the meal delivery and I was like, yeah, it's not going to work for me. I'm not going to be able to eat that.
I did that a couple weeks ago.
Like, I don't know what's, but it was like, cause I was starting to feel just like sort of weird and queasy all over, but just kind of like out of it. Oh, here's another important piece of information that I forgot. In the car, as like my back and neck, like kind of started to feel weird.
Your neck, your back, that's it.
I know where you're going.
My pussy crack.
My crack.
Is it my pussy crack?
It's your pussy and your crack.
Oh, my pussy
Elizabeth.
and my crack.
It had to be said
I'm
by
sorry
one of you.
to interrupt.
I couldn't say it.
Yeah. Anyway,
Your
your
neck,
neck and your back.
My back, my pussy, and my crack. So anyway, as I was like feeling weird on the way to the thing, I took the Advil and Kendra and I were talking, and I just out of nowhere started like hysterically crying.
I mean, that's not unusual
That's
for you.
textbook busy.
Steve just almost did a spit take. No, it's not when you're just like on your way to a press event and you have your hair and makeup done and you're just like shooting the shit about something.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, I cry a lot, but
Yeah.
I'm not about to cry right now for no reason. Like it would be like,
We don't know that.
well, that's true. But it would be like if I were right now in the middle of talking and then all of a sudden I just like tears started like shooting out of my eyeballs.
Yeah.
It
Understood.
felt,
It felt
I
weird
know the
to
difference.
you.
It feels
Yes,
weird.
yes.
It felt weird to me.
Yeah.
So then like I got home and I looked at the meal delivery and I was like, I can't, that's not a thing I can put in my body. But I hadn't eaten in a really long time. And I was like, I don't feel good. I feel weird. Mark's like, you're exhausted. That's all it is. You're just tired. And I was like, I don't know. I feel something. And he's like, well, go to Casa Kismet if you think you have COVID, because
Get out of here.
get the fuck out. Fair.
It is. I mean, it is fair.
But it was kind of late. It was late already, like when I got home from the job. And I was like, I don't feel like I can like make it over there. Like I was just I just didn't feel, I felt like I had to lay down, like immediately get in bed. And so but he was like, you're probably just hungry too. And I was like, but I don't want to eat anything. Although that Rayo's pasta didn't really smelled good at the sauce. He was like, we have it. They like sent me home with a ton of it. He's like,
yeah,
I'll just make it for you right now. I was like, okay. So I ate like a bowl of it really fast. And then I was like, you guys, now I understand. I had a fever.
Yeah.
But I didn't know that I had a fever.
That was the funny feeling.
Everything that happens after is like a little bit a blur, because I think at some point I weirdly ate like a handful of Cricket's M&Ms and then was like, why did I do that? And then like went upstairs and like passed out, but then like just couldn't sleep and was like crying and like curled in a ball and then crying. I just like, it was so weird, because also you would think 2 children, COVID being a rampant part of our world, couldn't find a thermometer to save my life, although we did just move.
No.
So I couldn't even like take my temperature. I took some Advil. I was just like out of it. The next morning, I was like, I'm going to Casa Kismet because I can't get everybody sick. I don't even know what this is. I might have COVID. What if this is a new strain?
Right.
What if I'm patient 0? And I went and I spent like the next many, many hours. I don't even know. I was like in so much pain, but it was like ravaging my body pain, but specifically my abdomen and like my back and my shoulders. And then I also was like, I'm alone. I have no friends. I don't have a fucking doctor here. I don't know what to do. I'm such an idiot. Like,
I have
why
a guess,
did I?
By the way, I'm not going to say it, but I'm waiting.
Okay.
Steve has a diagnosis.
I'm like, why did I not get my shit together and get a fucking doctor? Like, what is wrong with me? I deserve this.
I deserve it.
Oh,
Yeah.
No.
And also, I was shitting my brains out. I wasn't vomiting, and like also this is just graphic, guys. Guys, this is poop graphic. You're gonna have to
So
just
cover your
fast
ears
forward
if
you're not interested.
yeah.
It was I'm an IBS lady.
Yeah.
Like
You've seen a lot of shit.
I've seen a lot of loose shit in my life.
Loose stool.
And I'm well versed at it. At this point, I'm probably one of the best diarrhea-ers around.
Yeah.
Put that on a shirt.
Steve, tell Casey what I made you get that changed your life.
A bidet?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It changes everyone's
Let me tell
life.
you something, Busy. When I went to Vancouver to shoot Peacemaker for 7 months, I moved into an apartment, no bidet.
Obviously.
They didn't even have one of those detachable shower heads that you can shoot up your butt. So I just bought a bidet for the apartment that I lived in.
Yeah.
I'm glad you did that.
Once you have one, there's no going back.
I'm glad you did that, because I've traveled before away from my bidet, and I'm just like writing it love letters every day and trying to FaceTime it. And so I think it's just smart just to get one.
Yeah.
Let me tell you the new house.
Game changer.
Guess what's in every bathroom?
Absolutely.
That's right.
Hello potty.
That's right. That's what my nephew calls it. Steve, he gets scared of it because you know like how it like opens on its own, and he's like, busy is the hello potty. around. I'm like, it's not gonna get you, Bob. It's not gonna get you. Okay.
It's not like a Roomba. It's not
He's
roaming
really
free.
he's not here for it. He doesn't know yet.
He doesn't
though.
like
he will.
Automated, but he will.
He'll have his
he's-
moment.
When he's
I
older,
started
he'll
renting
know.
a house here in the valley and no bidet. So of course I'm going to buy a bidet, and I buy it and it doesn't really connect, and I called a fucking plumber to come, and he couldn't, he spent 4 hours trying Frankensteining a connection, hooked up the bidet to the toilet. Then there was the issue of there was not a plug near the toilet.
Oh,
And so in my bathroom right now, extension cord, just ugly ass extension cord running
Oh my
across the
gosh.
bathroom.
you can also get
But
an
it's-
electrician to come and put an extra plug in there.
I'll have to
it
do
depends how long you're going
But
to stay there.
it's a
It's
rental,
a rental,
yeah,
but
so you don't,
they would never notice if I did it.
yeah, they wouldn't notice.
Probably. I mean, who's going to complain that you put in an extra outlet?
no one.
Exactly.
No one.
We had to do the same thing, Steve. We had to get a suitable outlet, but my husband did hook up the water himself. Thanks,
Must
Matt.
be nice.
Remember we had one we had one of the ones that attaches to the toilet at Busy Tonight, but it occasionally would just shoot water at people.
Well, I think people would try. I think people would try it and not realizing what it was. It'll shoot water right in your damn face if you're not, that Bob is right to be afraid of the toilet, because my toilet, Steve, is the automatic opener, bidet, everything, but it's a real try hard. And every time I'm near it, it opens up to be like, hey, do you want to sit on me? Do you want to?
Yep.
And I've been hit in the face with it a number of times, trying to change the bathroom garbage. And
Mine hasn't done any of that.
yeah, so it's amazing. It's an amazing device, but also not the most trustworthy at all times.
Yeah.
I trust mine implicitly with my life.
I do too.
Okay, so anyway, back to my
You were
shit.
shitting.
It was unlike any. I just was like, what is this? It
Isn't
was
that disturbing when
yes, it was
you're
really fucking
a
disturbing.
middle-aged human and all of a sudden you're like, this is something I've never
Yes.
had to deal with before.
Yeah.
This is a new substance that I've made.
Yeah. And that was kind of what started freaking me out. I was like, this. Oh, I did my at-home Q COVID test, obviously.
Yeah.
And I was
came
negative,
up negative.
obviously.
And then you have ectoplasm coming out of you.
Right. I'm like, what is happening? And then I was like, what if I'm having some crazy damn thing? I did not make it almost 43 years to be taken out by my appendix.
Right.
That would be so fucking dumb. So, but then I was crying because I didn't have a doctor. Michelle really came through. This is where BFF Michelle was is the hero of this story, of this tale. Well, her and
Can I ask you what
Dr.
side
Kruger.
the abdominal pain was on?
right side.
Okay.
And it was my right shoulder and my back and my shoulder blade and but also just all parts of me were in pain. And my fever was hovering 103-ish.
Oh, wow. That's legit.
Yeah.
That's a legit bad fever.
Right. And I couldn't stop crying because obviously I'm having a crazy fever. I don't even know Emily Beebe. I talked to Beebe yesterday and she was like, oh my God, I'm so glad you sound so much better. I was like, when did we talk? I don't remember talking to her.
Oh, wow. You called her in a fever.
I don't even know. And she was like, well, she talked to me, I think. I don't know. I don't know when. I actually don't know. I don't know when we talked.
All right. Well, you can check your phone logs. Here's what worries me about you a little bit is that you didn't even know that you had a fever. And that is because, and Steve must know this too, you love all the feelings that are sort of like having a fever. Busy loves being hot, loves being sweaty, loves being weak in a weakened state because you've pushed yourself too far.
Honestly, I love being high.
Those are all your favorite things. And so of course you would just be like, oh, this doesn't feel that bad. These are all things that I sometimes enjoy.
It felt horrible, like the worst thing in the world. And also I was just like alone and like, I don't know. It was just so weird. It was just like me and Gina. She didn't leave my side in this fever dream. And so anyway, so Michelle was like, I'm getting a doctor to come to you. And so by the time the doctor called me on the phone, he was like, you sound like maybe you could get an Uber and come up here. And he was
lazy.
Like, no.
Lazy doctor.
No, wait, listen, I actually really appreciated it. He was like, I'm only saying this for 2 reasons. Number one, it's very expensive for me to come to you. Number 2, and I was like, I appreciate that. And I, even in my sickened weekend state, he's like,
you're still frugal.
Number 2, we can just do more tests here. I can like,
that makes sense.
I can get more answers really quickly. So if you think you can get in the car and come up here, I think that would be the best thing. I was like, okay, I think I can make it happen. So
I can put an Uber driver's life at risk.
Oh my God. Did you ride with your head out the window?
No, I ride like I ride in every Uber with my mask on and the window fully down.
Me too.
And like, even when it's raining, and they love that. No, but I'm like, did Mark drop me off? I swear to God, I don't even remember.
Are you in the city? Are you allowed to say?
In the city.
Yeah.
Are you allowed to say?
I mean, I don't know if you're
it's
like,
a city of like 44 million people.
Yeah.
Element. You know how obsessed I am with electrolytes, right?
Yes.
It's funny because I was just thinking thematically what the show is about this week or what we're talking about, which is my past week of hell. And truly, 2 of today's sponsors came in clutch. came in so clutch that like I might not be sitting here right this second. Like I might still be on the mend.
Yeah.
If it weren't for Element.
Thank you, Element.
Thank you, Element. Because I'm telling you, electrolytes are everything.
They make a big difference.
They are so important. I have my mother on these. I have like my family members. I've got my kids. Like you can drink all the water you want. If you don't have the electrolytes, you're not absorbing what you need to. You're not getting the nutrients, and you're like going to be dehydrated and feel weird.
And by the way, recently on my husband's day off, I made him a little like cocktail using Element as a mixer because
I love
it. You know, if you're going to indulge in something like that on a hot day, when we were like goofing off and being active like that, it helps you have less of a hangover, and it makes like a little tasty mixer and not full of all kinds of sugar like juice would have been. It was a nice treat.
Okay, just try it for us. Element is so sure that you're going to love their product and come back for more. They're offering you a free Element sample pack. What? That's 8 single-serving packets for free. You just have to cover the cost of shipping, which is $5 for U.S. customers. So you can get yours at drinklmnt.com/best. This deal is not available on their regular website, so you have to go to drinklmnt.com/best. Also, Element offers a no questions asked refund. Try it totally risk-free. If you don't like it, share it with a salty friend. We're going to give you your money back, no questions asked. You have nothing to lose here, guys, except
your dehydration.
Feeling better.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, yeah, that's right. You have nothing to lose here except your dehydration. That's a great tagline. Casey, you just nailed it for them. Our next sponsor today is the other thing that came in clutch. Guys, higher dose. Here's what happened, Casey.
Yeah.
So when you have a pain like I had,
yes,
I just like instinctually wanted heat on it.
Yeah.
You know, like I just wanted warmth and heat like surrounding my body.
Yes.
And so I got out the infrared mat, the PEMF mat.
With 20 pounds of healing crystals in it.
It recharges your cells, helped me feel relaxed and grounded and rejuvenated, and like I wasn't on the verge. And it was like the perfect, you can adjust the heat levels.
Yeah.
It was like the perfect amount of heat for me, and it just like warmed me up.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, here's the thing. If you don't have a full body heating mat, what are you doing with your life? Let's get your body into it. Then, just as I was recovering, I was like still feeling like I don't know. I wanted to be wrapped up.
Yeah.
But I didn't want to do like a full sauna the sauna blanket.
Right.
But I just wanted to be like wrapped up, and I wanted to sweat a little because I was like, I want to sweat some of this like toxic whatever is in me out. And so I got in my sauna blanket, but I like normally I like go all the way in like up to my neck.
Yeah.
But this time I just like did it up under my boobs.
Yeah.
And I sat with Birdie and watched Heartstopper, and I was just like I was sweating like from the boobs down.
Yeah.
and it was so awesome because it like really accomplished what I like wanted it to.
Yeah.
Like I felt like I was like sweating out toxins, and I felt like, I don't know, it just felt really good.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing for me. Like, I mean, it just feels good. And that is the biggest recommendation that I can give for any of these things, and that you can use them the way that you want to use them. Like you said, you can like stick your arm out, or, and the fact that you can just like, you can do it laying in your bed, or you can do it sitting up in a chair while you're working or while you're watching television. And I love wearing the LED mask to get your face glowing while I'm doing work. It's wireless, and it makes me feel so accomplished.
I love that red light face mask.
Yeah, it so
stimulates
good.
collagen. It activates glowing skin, reduces fine lines, regenerates cells, guys. Just use it. Guys, get your own sauna blanket, mat, and red light mask today at higherdose.com. You can use promo code BEST at checkout, and you're going to save 15%. That's higherdose.com, promo code BEST, or go to higherdose.com/busy to save 15% off your purchase. We are talking about that sauna blanket and the mat and the red light mask, and you are going to want them all.
You're going to love them.
Anyway, so somehow I got to the doctor. His office was like a fever dream, because it was.
Yeah.
But they took blood from me. He did a flu test and COVID. He's like, let's just do a PCR just to like, for the hell of it. We should just, that's when he said the thing about like, pretty sure this is not COVID, but you know what? We never know.
Right.
Yep.
And they took a bunch of blood from me. And then we chatted for a bit, which was weird because I was like so kind of woozy, but kind of fun to have a conversation with someone you don't know when you're like totally loopy.
Yeah.
I told him about, well, can I reveal it? Maybe. Shall I? About Birdie, Casey? Can I? I can, right?
Go ahead.
Birdie got into boarding school in Sweden.
Fun.
So we were chatting about that. There's a whole visa application thing and like there are a lot of parts before it's definite that Birdie is going to boarding school. And the night before, 2 nights before, I was telling the doctor this, like, so, because he was like, well, is it definitely happening? And I was like, well, I don't know. We have to see, because there are all these things that I have a feeling it's going to, which is crazy. And I can't even wrap my head around it in this moment right now. But it's also possible, whatever. And I was like, and like 2 nights ago, Birdie was like, but what about the NATO thing? And I was like, I'm sorry, what's the NATO thing? What's happening? That's just the kind of person Birdie is. Like, they just really are aware of everything that's happening in the world. The NATO thing is that Sweden and Finland are being pressured to join NATO finally.
Right.
And Birdie was saying, what about the NATO thing? As in, like, if this Russian war continues and Sweden joins NATO, there are like concerns that Russia could become upset with whatever.
Right.
But I just was like, I didn't even know that was happening. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm like,
Yeah.
Is there a reason why they want to go to Sweden? What's special about Sweden?
well, have you been to Sweden, Steve?
No, I mean, but
Don't go
But
there
how do
because
you-
they let all people with COVID die.
no, but how did they?
Do they really? Why?
Didn't it just come out in the news that like Sweden actually like basically euthanized elderly people with COVID?
No.
Don't quote me. I'll Google it. But
But what made
think-
them
Birdie?
decide to
Well-
even start looking in Europe?
Well, because they are okay. I mean, I don't blame them. Birdie's feeling is, why are you forcing me to stay in this country that doesn't give a shit about me, doesn't care about keeping me safe, and that I'm like constantly in fear?
That makes perfect sense.
And yeah. And they happen to love a Swedish television show. They also love a Norwegian television show. But
The Bridge.
no, they love a show called Young Royals.
Okay.
But from Sweden, and Skam from
Yeah.
Norway. But they researched, literally, I think like Birdie did a Google search, the top places in the world for LGBTQ people to live. Sweden is in the top 10.
That's enough of
And-
a reason.
Yeah. And there's there are a couple like international boarding schools there. So they speak English as the school language.
Mhm.
But then Birdie would like learn Swedish as well.
It's amazing.
And kids from all over Europe go to it. Like when we did the little trial weekend where Birdie got to stay over for 2 nights and go to classes and see if it
That's
was
why you
interesting.
were in Sweden. Okay.
Oh, Steve. I can't tell you how many people were like, I thought you had like some amazing job in Sweden. I was like, guys,
I thought you were
come
having
on.
a weird surgery, experimental surgery, but this makes way more sense. I mean, why? Why wouldn't they want to go to a country that like completely embraces them as opposed to one that wants to make laws denying them? You know, it makes sense.
Here's what I said to my friend this morning. Now I might cry. Which is like, obviously, like we have so much privilege. I have so much fucking privilege. And it makes me so angry that there are people that are stuck, that can't, any parent, and this is the whole thing about immigration too. It's like, you wouldn't fucking do everything in your power to make sure that your kid is safe.
100%.
Look me in the eye and tell me you wouldn't do everything in your power. These people who are like, put the walls up, don't let them in. Let me tell you something,
Fuck
bitch.
them.
Fuck you. Because if it was your kid in danger, you would be crossing deserts. You would be doing whatever. You would be
Breaking laws.
taking
you
out.
do anything. Yeah.
No, you would be pulling your strings and figuring out how the fuck you're gonna help your child. Because like, it's just wild to me that people can't follow the thread
Right.
in this country. So sorry, I got I'm upset about it. I'm upset.
Should be.
Options are the thing that privilege can offer. That's the, like, as far as I'm concerned, like the best thing that privilege can do is offer options, you know?
And ideally, it would be great if our fucking country wasn't so fucking narrow-minded when it came to this shit, and you didn't have to send them to Sweden to be accepted and celebrated. And
but it's also, but Birdie's like, I have a uterus, I've got a vagina, like there's no Roe is going. Birdie knows this because they're my kid. Roe is going to be overturned in June.
Yeah.
Period. That is what is happening. And there are like 13 states in this country that have trigger bans. They're going to start prosecuting women. I mean, they tried to in Texas, right? They arrested that woman. And this is what I'm going to talk to this lady tonight from Colombia, the lawyer. I mean, this is what was happening in Colombia. Women, like I think it's like over 200 women have been convicted and served an amount of time. Some women, like the last woman was just released, or they just got the last woman out, I believe. I don't know. Should probably look that up before tonight. But anyway, but it's not just that too. Birdie's like always been terrified of guns and of mass shootings. And like the mass shooting on the subway here recently was another, just like, you know, made Birdie's point even finer, like put a finer point on it, you know?
Right.
The day that we were leaving, the day before, like we were leaving for Sweden, Birdie's middle school was at their field that they like do physical education at, and they got put on lockdown by the NYPD because a guy who had just shot someone like ran away and was in the area, like an armed gunman was in the area. Ugh. And so the kids were all like put on lockdown. And Birdie was like, it's not fun, Mom. It's not great to live like this. It's not good for people.
No.
So anyway.
So that's why they want to go to
So those
Sweden.
are the many reasons why. And everyone listening.
Now I want to go to Sweden.
Yeah, exactly. Busy acknowledged the privileged place that they're coming from. We also know that Sweden isn't great for, so we've talked about this before on the podcast.
Every country has their problems, and like
every country has their problems, and not everyone can go to another country. We know all that, but that it seems like maybe this is the right thing for Birdie. So that's what Busy's talking about. And is it weird that I'm like, because I'm the one that's going to get the emails from people being like, you know, Sweden's not great for this reason or that reason. And
by
so
the way,
I'm just saying,
we're aware. I'm aware.
Yeah.
And there's also like a lot of anti-Semitism. Guess what Birdie's last name is? Silverstein.
Right.
Like no place is.
There's no perfect solution.
There's no fucking. Well, no. There's no perfect answer for you.
Right.
There's no perfect answer. Steve, I went to see a knee doctor. This is a whole other thing, Steve, the knee situation. I'm supposed to have whatever. It doesn't even matter. But I got a third opinion from a knee doctor, and he looked at me and he said, well, there is no perfect answer for you.
Yeah.
And
meaning
like,
get used to your knee problems.
No, that I just like, there are a bunch of different things I can do, but none of them are exactly right for me yet. Anyway, but that's the whole point of it, you know? Like
you're just trying to do the most best thing for your kid.
I'm just trying to do the most best thing for my kid, and for, you know, and like, and also they could like go there and fucking hate it and come back in 2 months. Let's be real.
Right. Which is also, you know, that's any 13-year-old, I think.
Wait, so you're at the doctor.
Okay.
I don't want to get off of this thing because I'm dying to know. I have two possible ideas of what's wrong with you at this point.
I love that you're like Dr. Housing it up over there.
So he brought in he ran like a bunch of blood work right while we were chatting. That's why he was like not letting me leave.
Right.
And he was like, that's interesting, but I don't know. we'll have to see. I'm going to run this other panel and this other panel, blah, blah, blah. I was like, what is it? And he's like, well, you have like some high numbers in some places that look a little weird. Your white blood cells are like through the roof. Is that right? Or are they low? Whatever they were.
Up.
Whatever it is.
They're high.
When you
they
have an
seem
infection.
High.
Yeah.
Yeah, through the roof. Okay. Your white blood cells are through the roof. And then like there was some other thing that like seemed a little off, but he wanted to do more testing that he would find out later. But he's like, you know what? I think it's probably just a virus. And you probably he felt where the appendix, he felt my appendix and was like, he's like, I noticed that you like winced on your right side when you sat down. Like, is that where it hurts? And I was like, well, it hurts everywhere. But then he like sort of felt around in my abdomen. And he's like, I want to keep an eye on that. It's a very small percentage chance that it would be your appendix. But like, if the pain gets worse at all, you like call me immediately and like, we'll, get you into, but so I sort of was just like, he was like, sent me on my way with like, take Tylenol every 3.5 hours. Like, don't wait for 4 hours. Every 3.5 hours, take Tylenol. You should start to feel better. We'll get the results of all these other things back the next day. And then I suffered through another excruciating night and was like, it was terrible. And was like crying hysterically when he called to check in on me in the morning. And he's like, I think we need to get you a CAT scan. And I was like, okay. So got me in to get a CAT scan. So I went and had a CAT scan, which I'd never had, where you drink the thing and then they contrast dye you in your abdomen.
Yeah, it's exciting.
Well, it was. I like did a thing that was so classic me. So in case you guys at home have never had a CAT scan, they give you this like bottle of vanilla disgusting liquid.
Radioactive.
It's like barium.
Barium.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you have to drink. It's like the size of one of those little milk bottles from school.
Like chalk.
It's disgusting.
Yeah.
And you have to drink the whole thing, and then they wait 20 minutes, and then you do the CAT scan, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I just wanted to get the hell out of there because I already felt disgusting, and I didn't know when the goo was going to start to emerge from me again.
Right.
And so I wanted to just get home. And I was like, what? They're going to be impressed with how fast I drank this. Like, my brain is so messed up. I was
You're trying to like win.
I tried to win the drinking the barium. Like, it was so psychotic that even as I was doing it, I was like, stop doing this. You're not going to win anything. It's gross. Stop. But I was like, I'm going to fucking do it. I'm going to do it faster than anyone's ever done it. I want someone to acknowledge how fast I drank that shit.
Ugh.
No one acknowledged it. But anyway, that was just like, that's just a little aside that I don't have to make everything a competition. And yet, even in my darkest hour of illness, I did.
You're praise motivated.
So weird. So did the CAT scan. And then I went home. And then what followed can only be described as like a noises off type phone missing each other situation between the doctor and me that ends with him literally calling Michelle and my business manager in Los Angeles.
Okay.
Because he's like, I can't get a hold of her. Like it was just, I don't even know. Again, my brain was not operating fully. And he's like, I got your labs back and looked at the CAT scan. You've got severe colitis going on. And from your labs, you have like a pretty gross bacterial infection. What is it from? We can't. I mean, if we need to, we can do more testing. I would need to get a sample and like blah, 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 blah. I think we'll just put you immediately on these like high level of antibiotics. And then we're going to check in tomorrow and see how it's going. And I was like, oh, okay. So I got the antibiotics and then it was like, not immediately better, but like so much better.
The next day.
Yeah.
Yes. Like 6 hours later, it was so much better. And then I'm on day 5, I guess. And
you'll 4. Be on for how long? Day
4. 10? No, because it's like really high dose. So yeah. I'm only on it for 5 days.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm done tomorrow.
And you're just feeling much better, but you don't know the name of the bacteria and you don't care.
Fuck that guy. Fuck that bacteria.
Fuck that guy.
I would have guessed appendicitis first and then kidney stone second.
Okay. I thought gallbladder.
Yeah.
Gallbladder, I know. One of our friends, I won't shout them out because maybe they don't want you to know that they had but one of our mutual friends one time called me and was like, I'm sicker than I've ever been in my life. I could barely get to the phone. And can you just come here and help me? And I went to their house and they were telling me what was wrong. And I was like, it's your gallbladder. And then the doctor came and was like, it's your gallbladder. And I was like, I felt like I had one too busy. So I get it. I wished that our friend had been well enough to acknowledge that I had guessed that, but no.
Sometimes when you win at something and the people around you don't acknowledge it, it can really bum you out.
Oh my God. But you know what is so worrisome? I already knew that you had this bacterial stomach infection. But as you were describing everything where you're like, my back was kind of hurting and my shoulder was hurting. By the way, like everything in a woman is a potential symptom of a heart attack. So that's like you'll always be like my eye is kind of pulsing. It could be a heart attack. My belly button is itchy. It could be a heart attack. Like women's heart issues are so poorly understudied that what you were describing could also have been a heart attack.
Well, thank God it wasn't.
Thank God.
Although Dr. Kruger did listen to my lungs and said they were clear as a bell.
Nice.
Oh, well, that must have made up for them not acknowledging how quickly you drank the
and both the like PA at the doctor's office and the nice person who gave me my whatever IV contrast dye IV commented on my beautiful veins.
Oh, you have nice
that's
veins.
Good.
That's good.
I have terrible veins, so yeah. I just went on. I don't know when the episode's coming out, but I just went on Danielle Koenig and Christine Kimmel's podcast, How to Survive, where you talk about like a time where you almost kicked the bucket, and I talked about the delivery of my first son, and it all hinged around, really everything hinged around having terrible veins. My veins almost caused me to die, and I needed so much antibiotics, and that's why we needed my veins to be good.
Were they collapsing?
And it was collapsing. I told this whole saga of how like they kept collapsing and the IVs kept failing. This really stern IV nurse kept coming in, and she couldn't get an IV in me. And then it was so bad that they brought in the pediatric anesthesiologist, this little old man.
Tiny needles. You need tiny needles.
Oh, yeah.
Tiny needles. And he cried because of how many times he tried and failed to get an IV into me because he was like, I'm hurting you and I'm supposed to be helping you. And I was like, please don't cry. It's okay, sir, please. And then he finally got one into my ankle.
Holy shit.
You're like a heroin addict.
Yeah.
Disgusting.
Right between the toes.
Yikes.
Disgusting.
Well, anyway, I'm glad that I got a diagnosis. I'm glad that I went to the doctor.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that
that's a kind of infection that doesn't really
anymore.
heal itself. You needed antibiotics.
I know. But then I became
Yeah.
like Sherlock Holmes, trying to figure out what it was that made me sick and like backing it up, like timing wise.
Yeah.
Colitis is pretty common though.
Well, colitis, I think, is just like swelling of your junk inside.
It's inflamed colon, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But but that can be like from IBS and stuff too.
Sure.
Yeah.
But the bacteria, what was causing the like pain and the like horrible, weird aliens coming out of me.
Oh my God. What if you found out it was a bidet accident?
Oh, don't ever start saying that kind of shit.
I
man.
actually, did you see my face? It just fell. Guys, my face just fell.
Yeah.
And I was like, no.
I'm not.
It's not funny. It's not funny.
That's like when you find out neti pots can like give you inflamed brain and yeah.
Well, they can. That's why you have to use distilled water or boil the water, guys.
Yeah.
Everyone.
Oh my God.
But the
Everyone
second
has-
someone's like, you got to
put it
start.
up your nose while it's boiling.
The second someone's like,
No.
you got to start putting distilled water in your bidet. I'm just like, oh,
Oh God.
fuck.
Well, I will say that I like have, that thing when you are sick from a foodborne bacteria.
Mhm.
Because I was like, there's so many things. Like, there's so many things that I've eaten recently that it could have been. Or, the worst is just like a poo finger from a server or a person in a kitchen, right?
Yeah,
Like,
norovirus.
that's the worst. But
Poo finger.
I think I actually think it was from this like meat and cheese plate. And like when I think about it, that's where I'm like, ugh, like that makes me feel gross.
Ugh.
Right.
Which means I think it would be like listeria.
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 Wisteria Are you going to do you have like vibes like you feel like becoming a vegetarian now?
Oh, no. Uh-uh.
No.
No, all I
Ever.
wanted to eat, like once I felt better, was a cheeseburger. Because I was like, I just wanted like little kid food. Like I wanted like chicken fingers and cheeseburgers.
Yeah, because you had like wiped out all your bacteria with the antibiotic, and then you need to restore the proper levels of bacteria that you were used to living with.
So I wanted like
You wanted some like
Something
cheeseburger
disgusting.
bacteria.
When I lost my sense of taste and smell, day 3 of COVID.
What day are we on? 10?
I'm on day 12.
12?
What? And you're still testing pause?
Yeah, but I mean that second line is so faint now. The next day or two, it's getting lighter and lighter, which means it's going away. But
Yeah.
day 3, I lost sense of smell and taste, which made me lose my appetite because it was just like not fun to eat anymore.
Yeah.
And then day 4, day 7, I just took a cough drop and put it in my mouth, and I could immediately taste it. And I like jumped up, ran to the kitchen and made a steak. I was like, oh my God, I don't know how long this is going to stick with me. So I got to make something amazing right now.
I had a question
hilarious.
about that actually, Steve. When you couldn't taste or like also couldn't smell, how frustrating is that? Is it just like, well, it's gone, or is it like frustrating?
I think it was the worst part. It was,
Really?
I legitimately lost my appetite. I would like, the crazy thing is you can still feel the sensations of like, if you had spicy food, you could still feel the tingle.
Right.
Just no taste. I was squeezing a lot of lemons from my yard into my water, and I could feel the acidity of the lemons. No taste. It was a bummer.
Huh.
It's a bummer.
That's so interesting. I one time lost my hearing for a couple months. I had pneumonia, and I don't know why, but subsequently like lost my hearing. And it was just really sad. It was really like, it depressed me a lot. I was very, very sad not to be able to hear anything. And I remember how excited I was.
Was there ringing? Was there ringing at all?
No, just
Nothing.
dead silence.
Wow.
Just dead silence.
Wait,
And
what?
Yeah, it was really bad.
What was it from?
I had pneumonia, and it was just like one of the things of like getting over pneumonia for me. Anyway, but yeah, I remember being like so excited when I could just start to hear a little bit again. Because at that point too, I also thought like maybe I won't ever hear again, you know? You just start to feel like that. Did you ever feel like you're never going to smell or taste again?
Yeah, I mean, because I've heard horror stories from people who are like, yeah, it was about a month before I could smell. And then I've, excuse me, also heard stories of people who lost their smell. And when it came back, it was altered. Like everything smelled or tasted like shit. Like,
yes,
really awful. And I was like, just, okay, I'll deal with no taste, but please don't make everything taste and smell awful.
Yeah, that's terrifying. Terrifying.
Yeah.
I just feel like first of all, there are definitely people, and probably somebody listening to this podcast, who maybe just doesn't have a sense of taste or smell. It's a thing that people are born without sometimes. Like Jason Sudeikis does not have a sense of taste or smell. Did you guys know that?
Really?
Yeah.
Same with Mike Furman. But that, you got to imagine then people like how diligent you have to be with food going bad in your refrigerator and like checking the dates because you can't smell if something's not good.
I don't know, but also it's just like, yeah, it's interesting. I mean, I wonder, if some of your other senses are a little bit more intense, like you really see things really clear. You hear really well. You like can touch.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Huh.
Maybe you're like very into touching. Maybe.
Yeah. It's like a little ecstasy trip.
I don't know. I don't
Maybe.
know, guys.
Who knows? We'll have to ask Jason Sudeikis and Mike Furman.
Guys, there's a lot that's happening
In the world.
Sure.
Yeah.
But also just like here.
Yeah.
And it's hard to know where to focus.
Are you launching into an ad right now?
No.
Oh, I thought you were.
No.
That's why the folks at there's a lot going on.
By the way, though, that is like not unlike how our ads are.
Yeah, it would be a good
Dude,
segue.
I wouldn't make you sit here for our ads.
I don't care. I would do it. I haven't left my house in
I know.
12
I know.
days.
I know. What are
Steve's
some
like,
things?
please let me do an ad.
What are some things you've been like watching, reading, doing?
Severance.
What's happening?
Severance is the greatest
Okay,
thing.
wait. So I just started it, and
Yeah.
I haven't. I've only watched 2 episodes, but I love it so much.
Yeah, it's the best.
Somebody
It's
said,
so
I wish I could
good.
remember who it was, but somebody said, it was our friend John Ross Bowie was like, Severance is everyone who's never worked in an office's favorite show, but for anyone that's ever worked in an
Super
office,
triggering.
it's very uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Which I get. I don't disagree with that. It's,
I've
It's
never
so
worked
good.
in
The
an
art
office,
direction.
guys.
The art direction is incredible.
beautiful. Yeah.
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 I just think I'm going to say it, guys. I'm going to say it. Ben Stiller is a hell of a director.
He really is.
He
Yeah.
is.
Yep.
He is.
He's really, really good. Roderm. 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 Simplify your skincare. Personalized prescription formula. I mean, I don't know what's happening here.
I like it. It's
seems-
retro. I feel like it's retro and
Because Roderm is like giving me like a Roderm. I don't know. It's just giving me like retro vibes. But it's not. It's a very like modern approach.
it's the skincare of the future.
It is, in fact. Listen, we love self-care. And sometimes what happens to me with the skincare routine, 'cause I just know this because we just moved. And as I finally got we didn't even talk about this, but the shelf in my, but I finally got like a thing to put stuff in my bathroom.
thank heaven.
You know?
Yeah.
Anyway, So I'm like putting away stuff. And I'm like, this is too many products.
Yeah.
Like, what am I even doing with this stuff?
Yeah.
Like, I don't even know what it's for at this point.
Well, we buy these things with like, a hope and a prayer that it will do what it says on the label. When the truth is, it's probably more targeted solutions that we need with actual scientific backing from, say, a dermatologist.
Right. You just want someone trustworthy to be like, hey, actually, you don't need to spend all of that money and have all of those products that are just going to sit in your cabinet that you just purchased for the rest of all time. This is all you need.
Right.
And this is why it's going to work on your skin. And this is why the custom RX treatment from Roderm was created. It's personalized, it's prescription skincare that's designed with dermatologists to help you reach your goals. Like, I don't know, maybe your goal is getting clearer, smoother, healthier skin. Why wouldn't it be?
Yeah.
Isn't that what we all want?
Yeah.
Maybe you want something else. Maybe you have fine lines and wrinkles.
Right. Dark spots.
Maybe you got dark spots.
That's a thing for me.
Maybe you got dark circles.
Yeah.
Like me. Can never fucking get rid of them. But that's why Roderm is here to help. All you do is complete a 10-minute online visit. You share your concerns. We just mentioned many.
Yeah.
Plus some insights into your lifestyle and your general health and medical history. The visit is free. I personally love it that you can do it from the comfort of your own living room.
It's so easy.
And then, if it makes sense, a U.S. licensed healthcare professional will prescribe a custom RX treatment that makes sense for your skin, made with a blend of dermatologist-selected ingredients tailored to your needs.
It's a no-brainer, really.
It's a no-brainer. It makes so much sense. Right now, new members are going to receive a 30-day trial of custom RX treatment plus Roderm's hydrating cleanser and protecting SPF lotion for just $5. What?
Yeah.
When you go to roderm.com/best.
Get it just for the SPF because you should be putting that on every day, everyone. Yeah.
I wear, you know how wild I am about sun SPF.
I keep it on my
put it
bedside.
on-
I put it on before I get out of bed.
Well, you're actually wilder about it than me. I've been beaten.
Yeah.
Immediately beaten. But it is a daily thing, even on overcast days, even on days when
It's rainy, snowy, anytime.
anytime. Shipping is free. You're going to get free and unlimited follow-ups with your healthcare provider to support you throughout your skincare journey. If you're prescribed, get your first month of custom RX treatment plus Roderm's hydrating cleanser and protecting SPF lotion for $5. Go to roderm.com/best. roderm.com/best. Upstart. That's what it is. It's Upstart.
It's perfect. A 2-note jingle.
And yeah, Upstart. I like it.
I like it.
Guys, here's what it is. If you're carrying a credit balance month after month, it can feel like you're in a never-ending cycle of debt. I've been there.
Yes.
I have been there. Actress and personality Busy Phillips has been there.
Yes.
With credit balance debt that I'm like, oh boy, this is never ending. And there's no amount of television shows in the world that's going to be able to help me out. But that's not true.
Right.
You can get out of it. You can get out of that debt. If you dread looking at your credit card statements, you're not alone. It can really feel overwhelming and crippling. Upstart can help you on your path to financial freedom. So many people experienced financial hardship in this past year. Upstart can help you regain your footing and get things back on track. It is a fast and easy way to pay off your debt with a personal loan all online. Whether it's paying off your credit cards, consolidating high interest debt, or funding personal expenses, over 500,000 people have used Upstart to get one fixed monthly payment.
That's the win for me. It's just, I love simplicity, and to consolidate everything into one payment that's going to save you money is a huge deal. And it's such a weight off your mind.
Unlike other lenders, Upstart considers your income and current employment to find you a smarter rate for your loan. You do a 5-minute online rate check. You can see your rate up front for loans between $1,000 to $50,000, and you can receive funds as fast as 1 business day after accepting that loan. Find out how Upstart can lower your monthly payments today when you go to upstart.com/best. That's upstart.com/best. Don't forget to use our URL to let them know we sent you. Loan amounts will be determined based on your credit, income, and certain other information provided in your loan application. Go to upstart.com/best. Oh, the Elon Musk Twitter thing.
Oh, yeah. 40.
Yeah.
How many billions?
44.
$44 billion.
What are you going to fix with Twitter? Really? With 44 billion? You're not going to fix Twitter.
I don't know that I necessarily think that that's his goal. I don't know anything about investing. Let me start by saying that. So I'm just like talking out of my ass here. But that's about 20% of his net worth, I believe, which is a significant amount, $44 billion. He's the richest man in the world, but that's a fifth of what he's worth.
Wait, is
paper.
his wealth just from fucking Tesla?
He's also like the son of an emerald miner, I believe.
Stop it.
His father invented.
Guys, also, I want to add an addendum to Casey's like fucking thing about me sending Birdie to like school in Sweden. Let's focus on the real fucking issues.
You're not an emerald miner's child.
I'm not an emerald miner's daughter. And I'm not like,
but we should make a movie about that.
The emerald miner's daughter.
His dad invented gold.
So that's 1/5 of his net worth. I think there's
also SpaceX.
SpaceX and Tesla. $44 billion. But I think there's something like only 200 million very active daily Twitter users. And there's like 400 million people that have like Twitter accounts around there. And Twitter's profits, I believe, are under $4 billion per year. So, and again, knowing nothing about investing, those things tell me that he maybe wasn't like a financial move that he was trying to make because...
I don't think it was.
Yeah, I think it's just, he was buying...
It's his vanity project.
Yeah, he's buying the biggest toy that he could afford and making it. But then I read all this stuff that like, that Twitter's board was threatened, that their like dirty laundry was going to be aired if they didn't let the deal go through. Who knows if it's true, but...
Wait, what?
I mean, yeah, that's what I read. Like, sources say the GOP is gonna,
the GOP is gonna what?
Gonna like air Twitter's dirty laundry if they don't allow this sale to go through. Who knows?
Who cares?
Who knows? But I do know that everybody got really emotional about it, which I can understand. But it's kind of funny because like billionaires own every platform that we use.
Right.
But I think it's because we know like Elon Musk as like a personality, like,
He's not still married to Grimes, is he?
I think they
split.
Kind of have like an open thing.
Sure.
Because they did have that like second child
What
together.
did they name the second one?
Beep Boop 227.
Is that true?
No.
Well, I don't
know. But
it was something ridiculous,
something
right?
unusual.
Sorry, not ridiculous. Unusual.
No. Well, I mean, it's not ridiculous to them, I'm sure.
I think it is. I bet it is.
Maybe. Yeah. I don't know what that baby's name is. And I don't know what the baby's first name is because I'm not good at remembering numbers, numerical sequences. And I know it had numbers.
Yeah, it's like X. I'm looking right now. It's like XAEXII.
But how do you pronounce it?
I don't know.
Baby.
It doesn't say how you pronounce it.
Baby 1 and baby 2.
I mean, they probably just call it baby.
Probably. Yeah. I mean, who knows? You know, my favorite thing about, have you guys ever read, like, before Grimes was Grimes, she tried to like take a river raft down a river with her bow, like an old timey, they tried to like build a river raft, and it there's a good article about it. I'll send it to you guys because it's just so entertaining. And I read it like once a year to make sure it's still hilarious. And it always is hilarious.
I actually think I did.
You've read it?
Read this article at some point. Yeah.
There was like a Minnesota police officer that very slowly pursued them down the riverbank, being like, you got to get this shit out of here. But he was like very generous with them the whole time that they were trying to take their raft with all their dry goods down the river.
God, that's amazing. I like a true weirdo. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. You know, someone that tries that is just going to come back and do something else remarkable, like marry a billionaire and name their baby XEA. And when I say remarkable, I mean worthy of being remarked on.
Yeah, listen, all I know, though, another true individual and weirdo in my life, one Cricket Silverstein.
Oh boy.
When she was literally 2 years old, would make us play that Grimes song on repeat that was like making my ears bleed. Like, it's like,
Yeah.
like, it's like, so you know what I'm talking about. You know the Grimes song.
Yeah, the
course.
Grimes song.
Well, there's a few.
Know. Yeah, that's the, yeah.
But that was like
the one I know.
The original one, and Cricket loved it.
Sounds like anime music.
Well, Cricket does love
yeah.
anime now.
Yeah. There you go.
Also,
it's all in the same.
Cricket was obsessed with this at around the same time. This like weird little just like box thing, plastic box with Elmo on it, that like a noise machine thing that you would press, and it would just sing over and over again. Elmo's got 4 crayons in his box. Oh, that's what he's got. Red, orange, yellow, and green. Everything's gonna be fun. Like again and again and again and again. Cricket is
one of a kind.
She's got her own stories going on up there. She really
I do want to
does.
say that was a good Elmo impression.
That really
I thought
was
that
good.
You were doing like a pretty good Elmo impression.
Yeah.
When Lincoln was that age, my younger son, Steve, who he's an adult man now, he's not a child, but when he was around that age, he was obsessed with Buddy Holly.
Whoa,
and
weird.
And he was like into like always making, like he would always make posters for the music that he was into. He was a little older than 2 because he was writing. But anyway, I just remember that he made like a fan poster that said, I love Bud Hole. Like he spelled Holly like Hole. But now that's all I can ever think of whenever Buddy Holly comes on somewhere. I'm like, oh, it's Bud Hole. It's good old Bud Hole.
Wait, that's kind of genius. I'm obsessed.
Butthole.
Well,
what else is happening? There were so many things to discuss.
there really were. I mean, I just feel like it is hard to know. I mean, I don't know. I think, Steve, you don't listen to the podcast, but
I've listened to it.
I've listened to what I could.
oh, also the bump on my foot is now just like getting worse, by the way.
I know. And we talked to Seema, and Seema wants you to go to the doctor.
I went to a physical therapist today.
Okay.
For my knees and everything. And then I was like, oh, by the way, while I'm here, I haven't been to the doctor, but this is what happened. And I showed the bump on my foot. And she was like, oh, wow, intense. She's like, we're really going to have to work that out. Like, it's a calcium. It's everything that Seema said it was, Dr. Seema.
Yeah.
Calcium deposits that are causing like whatever.
Oh my God.
Where I hit my foot. Steve, when I fell out of the shower.
Yeah, you told me. It's the whole reason I'm here.
God.
We had this discussion via text message.
I know. That's right. That's right, Steve.
How old does it make you feel falling out of a shower? I'm terrified every time I get in a shower now that I'm going to fall down.
I just felt, I felt so dumb. I just felt so dumb.
I just put tape in my shower, that grip tape. I was like,
we were just talking about how we need those like grippy flowers from the 70s on the bottom of our bathtubs.
You can get them on Amazon.
I just feel like it's time to start pricing one of those walk-in bathtubs.
Oh, God.
With a door.
Okay, I just told my mom that I felt like she should get one of those.
My mom had one.
She didn't take it well.
My mom had one. She loved it. Loved it.
I think we need to position it as cool, like as a luxury item.
It is a luxury item. I want to walk into a bath.
Have a tub with a door. The only thing is you got to sit in there and freeze your tits off while it's draining before you can open the door.
Wait for it to fill. You're sitting there naked.
That's the drawback. But if there's like any way to, to position that as cool, then let's all get it.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I think my mom should really do it.
They're pretty phenomenal.
You guys, do you want to hear crazy news from my house?
Yeah.
Mom, sorry. My mom loves the podcast, Steve. She's a huge fan. Huge fan.
Hi.
So my mom had her knees done, now her hips, it's just a whole once you hit like a certain, it's just you got to just
like replacing your skeleton piece by piece.
Just replacing your skeleton piece by piece. But so she's been waiting to get the the hip replacement. And then my dad, his hip has gone fast. And he's like in so much pain all of a sudden. So my dad gets on the sketch. He's getting his hip replaced. Weirdly, too, from the research I've done and people I've talked to, the knee replacements are more of a recovery than the hips.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't understand because you use your hips for there's less motion. I don't know why.
Well, I think it's kind of gross, but this is, again, like if there's a doctor in the house, please write in to correct me. But
we're not, Steve.
We're no doctors.
We're no doctors.
We're no doctors. And I'm especially less of a doctor than the two of you. But I think like the knee, they like kind of just take out that whole section of your leg. And so there's
it's a full replacement.
Two reattachments. But when you say hip replacement, I think people don't understand that usually in my experience, what people are getting done is they're having the ball of their hip joint replaced. Yeah. So it's sort of just a one thing getting put on.
They just shove a ball in there? No, they have to drill the plastic on the outside.
Yeah. Yeah. And
so it's like
but they're just replacing
on your bone, right?
Yeah. They're replacing that one part that then pops into another part of your body. Whereas like your knee, it's kind of just like getting like a leg augmentation surgery.
It's a shit show.
It's the whole device.
Like if I was getting my knees replaced, I would ask them to see if they could like put in a couple inches on each leg, It seems like
I have two friends that both had hip replacement. And these are not old people. They're like middle-aged. They're in their 40s.
Yeah.
In their 40s?
Yeah, 40s. One's in his 40s, one's in his 50s. Had their hips replaced, were up and walking in like a week. One of them was running in like 2 weeks. Like it was nothing.
I hear you're like walking actually like the next day. And then you're like really, really walking a week later. But anyway, so my dad gets his scheduled, right? But my mom was having like some other things with the doctor, and she had to like, with her insurance, she had to like meet certain pre-surgery criteria before she could get approved for it, right? For whatever. Anyway. So that finally happened. My parents scheduled their surgeries 1 week apart.
Oh no.
No, I said to my mother, I was like, I don't think this is a great idea.
My parents
I would like to go on record.
My parents
really?
Yes. Stupid. My dad had to go into a nursing home because my mom couldn't take care of him because she was laying in a bed with a weird machine that was making her knee bend and, doing physical therapy. And
Right.
I was like,
My
why
mom
did
had
you
that
guys
too.
fucking do this?
Okay. So I'm right and they're not. My mother's like, Busy, it's going to be fine. It's fine. We'll deal with it, Busy. I'm like, Mom, this is like what? Well, we talked to the doctor and he seems to think it's going to be fine. I'm like,
well, the doctor's not going to be there
Right.
microwaving soup for anyone.
right. Also, my sister has like a very full-time job now, plus
Yeah.
2 children,
Yeah.
children, little
Yeah.
children. And like her husband works. And so then I'm like, are you expecting me to fly in and take care of you? Is that what's happening?
I just had colitis, motherfucker.
No, I mean, but honestly, then I was like, I guess I got to do it, right? Like I have to fly in and take care of you. And my mother's like, Busy, you are not flying in and taking care of us. And I was like, okay, well, that's fine. But then can we think about like having someone ready, like a nurse,
Yeah.
to come immediately and like,
Are they having both knees done at the same time or what?
No. Hips.
Oh,
Both
the hip stuff. Okay,
My dad is having one hip. My mom is having one hip.
Yeah. But still probably good
1
to
week
get a nurse.
apart. And then
Even though you were Dr. Hope Bobek, I still think that they probably need a nurse to help.
Yes.
On call.
At least for a week. At least, probably
you
more.
guys,
Maybe a task
my
rabbit.
mother is like she's like, Busy, we don't go anywhere. What are we going to do? I was like, you have to go to the bathroom. You have to like get a fucking smoothie in the kitchen.
You got to eat.
What are you talking about? You got to eat. What are you talking about? My mom, like, sometimes I swear to God, is this it? Is this it? Is this the moment where it all flips?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And where all of a sudden I'm like, oh my God, they are children that I need to manage.
Yes.
Like I have to now call my sister, Mom, just get ready for it.
Yep.
Like, I'm talking directly to my mom, Barbara Phillips, who's a big fan of the podcast, who also tells me, Busy, sometimes I put it on while when I can't sleep at night. And then I go right back to bed. I fall asleep, but then I'll wake up. Like the other day, I didn't understand what people were saying about the I love spaghetti part because I had put it on and then just had fallen right asleep listening to you and Casey. And so I do have to go back and listen to it again. And I was like, Mom,
It's okay.
Stay golden, pony boy.
Amazing.
Stay golden.
It's ephemeral.
It is. That's what I was trying to say to her. I was like, it doesn't matter. Like you can listen to it in your sleep. You got it. Like you get the gist.
Dip in and out. Yeah.
But anyway, I just feel like, I don't know. There's a time in your life, right, where the tables turn and you have to start taking care of your parents as though, even though my parents full faculties, doing great, gonna do great in the surgery, and bless.
Yeah.
But like that, just my mom thinking that there's no issue with them having these major surgeries 1 week apart is totally fucking bonkers.
I mean, I don't know if that's an age thing because I'm sure I've told you about like when I thought I was going to take a taxi cab home from getting my tonsils out in New York City.
Okay. To be fair, can I just say this? To be fair, now that I've lived in New York, I get it. Like I actually get it. What? A. B. You were 20.
Yeah, you could have handled it.
I was gonna like there because also I think that hospitals and doctors, maybe not doctors, but they give you the impression, like when they make something like that, a same day surgery, you think that you're going to like walk out and maybe go to the movies, like do something chill that night. But no, here's what I did. I couldn't wake up from the anesthesia. I woke up in a room full of teenagers who had had nose jobs. I realized I was not going to take a taxi home. I feebly wrote a phone number on a piece of paper for the nurse, and it was my boss's phone number. So this nurse called David Letterman and was like, hey, I have this person here who gave me your number.
Oh my
she
God.
just woke up from surgery. And so then he sent a limousine, which I vomited in. And
that's
then I
amazing.
went
Holy
went into
shit.
my-
This is an amazing story.
I went into my apartment and ordered nachos from Pizzeria Uno because I was still high out of my mind.
After a tonsillectomy.
And I was like, while my throat is numb, I'm gonna get some delicious food that has the sharpest corners possible.
It bleed into my stomach.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Gross.
But in the meantime, like Dave had called my mom and said, like, your daughter is high and is like doing crazy shit at her apartment. Can you come from Massachusetts? And so my mom got there like around the same time as the nachos. It was fine. It's fine.
Wow.
But they would have you believe they're like, oh, you'll be here for a few hours and then you can leave. And that was before, I guess, nowadays they make you have someone responsible.
I tried to take
you have to write.
I tried to
you have
take
write
an
who they
Uber
are.
home from my kidney surgery to have a stone removed. And they were like, no, you have to have somebody you know come get you. I was like,
And you're like, I know the Uber guy.
No, but by the way, he does not get paid enough
no.
for that. You know what I mean? Like he didn't sign up for that. He didn't sign up for
Maybe
that.
this is a business though that we can go in, like a responsible adult with a car that can bring you home from your wisdom teeth extraction.
I don't want to start that business. No
People
fucking
puking
way.
in your car? Nope.
No way.
It does speak to, though, I think like all of us, like we minimize this stuff. Like me, I don't know, like you don't want to bother anyone. You don't want to ask anyone for anything. You think you can. So I hear where Barb Phillips is coming from, but also Mrs. Phillips as someone that tried to make it home
At age 20.
at age 20 after a tonsillectomy. I'm here to tell you that maybe get a little help.
I gotta talk to Leanne. Leanne's been busy, but I gotta get on the horn with my sister and see. She's the boots on the ground there. You know, Steve,
Yeah.
my sister does not listen to the podcast.
Oh, good. Let's talk some shit.
So we can say whatever we want about her.
Not interested at all. Do I blame her? No. Would I want to listen to like think about that? Would you want? Well, maybe some people would. People that
obviously, and we appreciate that you do.
With most
We're just
podcasts, it's when it comes, like I'll subscribe, and when it comes up, I read the description. I'm like, oh, I have to listen to this, or I'm like, I don't know. It's a lot of times it's guests. I'm like, oh yeah, I like them. I'm going to listen to this.
Yeah.
You know? But yeah, I
Yeah.
listen.
I mean, I'm not a huge podcast listener, period.
Mhm.
Right.
I tried to do it when I was in the throes of my fever, pain,
Mhm.
like fugue state.
Distraction.
Yeah.
Because somebody was like, why don't you watch Severance? And wait. I can't remember who it was. Someone I talked to was like, why don't you watch Severance? You've been wanting to watch it. And I was like, I can't waste it. I can't waste it on this state. Like, cause I felt like I would watch it and like not remember any of it.
Yeah.
So then I was trying to listen to some podcasts and that I just like was like, shh, stop.
Yeah.
Shh,
Yeah.
be quiet.
I think maybe too busy, like, are you like, you don't have, you're not able to meditate, right? You hate like meditating?
No,
like
I meditate.
Does it? Okay. Because whenever I would like do the flotation tank thing, like I could never stop like my mind from talking to myself. So that's why I think I am not able to listen to a lot of podcasts because I just start talking to myself about whatever. And then I'm like, what just happened? I was only listening to myself and not the podcast.
Well, that happens to me all the time.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Well,
So,
we've talked
you know.
about how I'm definitely like a visual learner.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it is difficult for me sometimes.
Yeah, sure.
I don't know, guys. I don't know. You want to know something else that really came in clutch
Yes.
for me?
Yes.
Athletic Greens.
Yes.
Here's the deal. I've really set myself up here with these things, guys. And like we've said to you before, we believe in this stuff we're selling you.
we use it
I'm
ourselves.
serious.
Well, it's like the classic. Not just not just a representative, also a client.
Not just a representative, also a fan.
Yes.
A fan.
Yes.
We are fans of AG1. And here's the deal. When I was super sick, and I'm still recovering, I'm not going to lie. And I did my AG1 this morning because I'm like, I got to get some probiotics. I need to get some adaptogens, vitamins, minerals, whole food sourced superfoods back up in this bod. You know?
Yeah.
And we all need it in our bods. The special blend of ingredients supports gut health, nervous system, your immune system, your energy, recovery, focus, and aging, all the things.
Everything.
Literally all the things.
Literally everything in your body.
I bring it with me when I travel.
Yeah.
I really enjoy the taste of it. I like to add it to a smoothie also.
But you don't have to
add it to a smoothie.
Yeah, can just put it right in water. I like it in a smoothie too, though.
It's lifestyle friendly, whether you eat keto or I said ketogenic. Keto?
Well, you don't do it. I
Keto.
think keto, but yeah.
I need to look up what's the difference between keto and paleo. Doesn't matter. AG1 fits in. Keto, paleo, vegan, dairy-free or gluten-free. AG1's got your back. Less than 1 gram of sugar, no GMOs, thank God. No nasty chemicals, obvi. No artificial anything. Still tastes delish. Supports better sleep quality and recovery, mental clarity, alertness. It's one thing with all the best things. It's a small micro habit with big benefits. It's one thing you can do every single day to take great care of yourself. And it costs you less than $3 a day. Right now, guys, we really want you to reclaim your health and arm your immune system with convenient daily nutrition, especially because that's, flus and colds and viruses. Everything's out to get you.
Yeah.
It's 1 scoop in a cup of water every day. That's it. No need for a million different pills and supplements to look out for your health. To make it easy, Athletic Greens is going to give you a free 1-year supply of immune-supporting vitamin D and 5 free travel packs, which really come in handy with your first purchase. All you have to do is visit athleticgreens.com/busy. Again, athleticgreens.com/busy to take ownership over your health and pick up the ultimate daily nutritional insurance. You know what I want just like more all the time of?
What?
Just like good vibes.
Yes.
You know what's a big vibe?
What's a big vibe?
Vizzy Hard Seltzer.
Yes.
Made with the antioxidant vitamin C. Big vibe.
Oh, we're longtime lovers of Vizzy Hard Seltzer. We love that it has the antioxidant vitamin C in it because if you're
From the acerola cherry.
the acerola cherry, which has so much vitamin C in it, it's nuts.
It's nuts. Way more than a regular orange.
Yeah.
It puts those oranges to shame. Vizzy just launched the first nationwide mimosa hard seltzer. Get into it. Vizzy's taken the classic OJ and champagne duo to a whole new level, guys. They created a hard seltzer inspired by that classic cocktail. Vizzy Mimosa Hard Seltzer is made with real OJ and comes in 4 delicious flavors: strawberry orange, pineapple orange, peach orange, and pomegranate orange.
I will have pineapple orange
Yeah, I want pomegranate orange.
Vizzy also has a lemonade hard seltzer as well as a watermelon hard seltzer. And each variety pack offers 4 delicious fruit flavors and the same antioxidant vitamin C. But I love that lemonade and that watermelon for summer, which is finally coming.
I mean, on your coast.
Right. Yeah.
things are still cold over here, babe.
Oh my God.
But you know what? I'll drink a cold fizzy drink no matter the temp. That's who she is. Guys, they have delicious flavor combinations: pineapple mango, black cherry lime, strawberry kiwi, blueberry pomegranate, papaya passion fruit, watermelon strawberry, blackberry lemon, and raspberry tangerine. I want to try black cherry lime.
Yeah, that sounds really good. I like blackberry lemon sounds.
Oh, that sounds
so
better.
delicious. But I know that I already know that I love pineapple mango. Yeah.
Vizzy hard seltzer, the seltzer that passes the vibe check. Vizzy is a vibe. And if you're like me and eager to try Vizzy hard seltzer, here's how you can do it. To find out where you can purchase Vizzy, go to VizzyHardSeltzer.com/busy. That's Vizzy, VIZZY, hardseltzer.com/busy, BUSY. To get updates on their latest flavor drops and more, sign up for their emails at VizzyHardSeltzer.com/subscribe. That's VizzyHardSeltzer.com/subscribe. Guys, you got to be 21 and older to drink.
Well, we should maybe we should talk about what we're doing our best at this week because, Steve's here. I mean, he's doing beautifully at recovering from COVID.
Mm-hmm.
I feel very lucky.
Yeah. But is there anything else you're doing your best at, or is that?
I mean, the past 12 days, it's literally been me just trying not to go crazy from being alone in this house. And that's always also the hardest part of being sick when you're single is being single and like, oh, I got to get up and fucking make something to eat. I got to like, it's a chore, that's the depressing part.
I know that was, even though I'm like, I don't know, that's hard.
Yeah. You're a Casa de Kismet by yourself. And it's like, everything is just on you.
I mean, to be fair, Mark did drop off drinks. He sort of like, and Tylenol. He brought more Tylenol. He sort of like shoved him in the door and like ran away. I think it was like, I get it though. Like we're all so fucking paranoid at this point now about getting sick. Like,
yeah,
which rightfully so. Like, obviously we should all be nervous about it, but it does feel sad to be alone when you're sick. I much prefer the like being taken care of version of illness.
I have a few friends who had COVID very recently who are like, yeah, I'll come by. Like, they're like, I'm not going to get it right away. So, we hung out in the backyard, but, before I got COVID, I had a few friends who had it. And I was like, yeah, you want to come over and watch TV? Because I'm really not afraid of you because you just had it and you're vaccine boosted.
Right.
So there's something to be said for that.
I know. I was going to say, like, do you feel like once that line goes away?
I'm going to a movie theater.
Are you?
Yeah.
I want to see everything everywhere all at once.
I do too.
So fucking bad, you guys. And I'm terrified of movie theaters.
Me too.
You know this. By the way, we literally just talked about this on the podcast. I've always been afraid of movie theaters. I don't like movie theaters.
I love streaming shit. I love watching something at home.
Me,
I know
too. Watching was made for homing.
What?
Is that whatever? Watching was made for being home.
Yeah.
Not in public.
Yeah.
Not like with other people.
Yeah.
Oh God. And also remember remember, guys, seeing movies in LA and then having to walk out of the theater and listening to some fucking asshole explain to his girlfriend the references or why it was like he was like Tarantino's blah, blah, blah. You're like, shut the fuck up, Film School 101. Get out of here.
Which, by the way, that could be any town in America, but there's like this extra emphatic layer in Los Angeles.
Extra in Los Angeles. It is extra. And those like just like people's like immediate hot takes walking out of the theater in LA was always my least favorite thing. It's like, settle in, bro. Settle, like just let it sit.
Yeah. Ease up their Cal Arts.
Yeah.
We get it.
Jesus.
I was bummed that movie isn't streaming, but I get it. But I do.
It's going to be soon.
It will
June.
soon. Yeah.
Yeah. I get it why they want to have it in theaters, but
I want to see. I have to say, I do want to see it.
Yeah,
in a theater. No, I mean I want to see it on a big screen.
Interesting.
But just no one else can be around.
Okay.
I feel like I can do it now. Well, at least for
I think you can.
A couple weeks.
What's happening with movie? Okay, this is so off the subject, but like what happened with movie theaters now because ArcLight is gone? Right?
No, Cinerama Dome is
still there.
No, it's gone.
No.
I think somebody's buying it.
What is it?
I think somebody's
Elon
buying
Musk? Is it Elon Musk?
Probably, yeah.
You might not be wrong with that, Busy.
Next big investment. Yeah, what is even open?
Like Edward, the usual shitty cinema. Edwards.
But they've got you guys have the really nice Alamo Draft House downtown.
They have
that
an
is
Alamo.
Open.
Yeah, that place is great.
Yeah. I don't know. I never go to the movies. I've only helped my children go to the drive-in one time since this whole thing.
Here's what I'm gonna pitch. I'm in LA in a few weeks, guys, because for press for Girls Five Eva. Do we go to one of those like iPicks?
Love iPick.
And get however many seats there are. Just say like, tell us how much it is.
You can rent out theaters.
Yeah, of course. But I mean, I want to people we like. Everybody gets tested. Steve, you're fine, but we'll test you anyway.
I'll still get tested.
And then we watch that movie. Does that sound like a fun thing?
Yeah, that sounds so fun.
I'm in. I'm so in.
I'd be in for that.
I'm in too. Let's make it a reality.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
I'll make the popcorn.
No, we can get it there, Casey. That's the point.
You can get full meals at iPick.
I know. The chicken fingers, so good.
So good.
And the candy baskets that they bring. Ugh, it's all
wow.
kind of
I've never
amazing.
done this. So
what?
I'm excited. Yeah,
let's
do it.
Fancy theater going experience. Once you go iPick.
Lounge chairs, like lazy boys.
Wow. Yeah. You can bring a blanket.
Wow. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm
real
in.
nice.
What are you doing your best at, Busy?
Surviving.
Yeah. Yeah, you've done it.
I did it.
You went to the brink and came back.
I did.
Yeah.
It was dark. But I also feel like it left my body yesterday morning. I woke up and after the kids went to school, I literally sobbed hysterically for an hour and a half. I sobbed straight, just couldn't stop sobbing. And then I was like, okay, I think I'm good now.
That was it. You cried all those remaining bacterias out.
I was having such weird, obviously fucking dreams and whatever, kind of hallucinations almost, crazy, crazy shit. And I was having a lot of stuff about LA, coming up in the house.
Yeah.
And because we just moved into this new house and yesterday, actually I slept yesterday until 10 a.m., which is
nice.
unlike me. That's not who she is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I just was sitting at my computer looking at something in the new house. And then I just looked up and Mark walked in and I just looked up and then I just like started sobbing. And he's like, holy shit, what just happened? What is it? He's like, what is it? What is it? And I was like, I can't. Like, I don't know what to say. Like, I just miss. Okay, I'm going to say something now. You might need to edit it out.
All right. Well, I'll be the judge of that.
I literally was like, I miss the first lockdown of COVID.
The first one.
Oh.
I miss like March, April 2020. Like,
Interesting.
I like.
Well, that's.
What about it?
I was going to say it makes a certain kind of sense. Like, we thought it was all going to be like a short time.
That's right. I think it was like, I think, oh no, I'm going to cry. I think it was that I like was really hopeful. And
That makes sense. My first Instagram post when I went out to Joshua Tree to lock myself down on March 16th was, see you guys in 2 weeks. Fucking wrong. Wrong.
Right.
2 years
Right.
later.
2 years later, Joshua Tree is what eventually brought you down, Steve.
Fucking, can you
So
believe
it's
that?
It was
full
like,
circle.
Full circle.
Your place
Haha,
of
bitch.
refuge.
I was staying in the same place when I
No,
got
that's
COVID.
Oh my
insane.
God.
That's insane.
Yeah.
oh my
That's
God.
crazy.
Yeah.
But
No, Busy, I think people would understand and can completely identify. You're not saying that you like miss a time when, I don't think you're saying anything that's that harsh. I think you're thinking back to a time when we were like, okay, we can handle this. This is
I
like,
did. I felt, that's right, Casey. I felt like I could do it. And like, I woke up every morning and like did my workout and then got my kids got Birdie on the Zoom and like sat with Cricket and we had our schedule. We did her little like first grade work or whatever. And like, I would do art projects and we would go out front and we would look at birds. And then I would go up to the balcony and have balcony time and like have a cocktail and like dance and FaceTime my friends or like go live on Instagram with you or whatever. And
Right.
like, I just feel like I just had this motivation and like a forward motion because I was like, well, this is very clearly things are going to be this for a minute and then it's going to be back and then it'll just be life will just continue and we're going to pick up a thing. And even though like we were having our own stuff, Casey and I, with like our business that was like, and fell apart basically. And, and I was in the throes of like a lot of mixed feelings. Like in retrospect, I look back and I'm like, oh, I was able to function.
right.
Mhm.
And in the moment, like in those months back then, I thought like I was so sad. It was so hard. Everything was so impossible. But like looking back on it, I'm like, you were doing just fine. Like you were doing great, in fact, because your brain was still believing that. I didn't think it was going to be 2 weeks. I did think it was going to be like a couple months or something.
Yeah.
And then it just, here we are. And it feels like the fever dreams basically of like the 4 days when I was so sick just now. I don't know. For some reason, it like has made me feel like the last 2 years have just been this fucking fever dream that we can't get out of and that
Right.
I can't get out of. And it's like all that stuff that we talked about earlier, like all the stuff happening in the world and everything and like being in this city and all of it just feels like. My friend Eliza texted me this morning. Nobody knows what they're doing, Busy.
Right.
Nobody has any idea what the fuck they're doing right now.
Nope. Nope.
My friend
Yeah,
Eliza from LA, who now lives in London, or outside of London, and their kid goes to boarding school in England now.
Yeah.
Like, it's just what are you doing your best at, Casey?
I am just trying to be productive. Which is not an easy thing for me because I really get bogged down in not being as productive as I want to be. And then I spend a lot of time beating myself up about that. But both of the boys were out of the house this week. They were both variously pet sitting and house sitting for people. So it was just me alone in the house, and I'm planning a trip. I'm going to Duluth because I'm leading like a workshop in Duluth. So I have to like get ready to travel next week, and coordinating the fireplace that listeners saved up for and bought and had shipped to me here in Los Angeles from across the United States.
Fireplace? Like a stone or brick fireplace?
Like a mid-century modern fireplace that I had.
The
steel like a Malm
one.
fireplace. Yeah. So nice. I had talked on the podcast of like dreaming of owning one of those fireplaces. And
are you allowed to do that
yard.
in LA? Because I know you can't build a house with a fireplace.
Yeah, I think if
like
you
a
just
fixed
sort
fireplace.
of have it as decoration, I think it's fine. It's about the decor for me more than burning it, because I wouldn't want to damage it anyway. So that like coordinated, like the receipt of that, which just arrived here, so we have to unpack it. And so Leah and every listener that contributed to that wonderful gift for me, really great. And then
I think it's the best thing that's come out of the podcast.
Her name is Carol Burnett, the fireplace, because she's orange.
Love it.
And
that's awesome.
Love Carol. So just stuff like that. I mean, I've been like, my older son, I think I've mentioned, is like he's working a job, but like on the side, he's trying to like to restore vintage furniture and sell that as like a side business. And so, but I've just been enjoying like spending time with him, like talking about all this stuff that we love. It's like a shared mutual interest that we love. And he just rented a studio space to keep all his inventory in. So that's pretty cool. And also, this is not what I'm doing my best at, but I feel like I'm going to share my doing my best with my son, Eli. He spent a lot of time this week at Alex Trebek's estate sale.
Oh, wow.
Buying things for people who are fans of Alex Trebek and things himself. It was actually like very sweet, and it was interesting to listen to him like talk about it. So this week I spent a lot of time talking about Alex Trebek and what he was like, and learning a lot about him beyond being the host of Jeopardy. He was also a really handy craftsman and did a lot of renovations to his house himself.
Oh, he's like a Nick Offerman.
Yeah, he's like a Nick Offerman.
I was thinking the exact same thing.
Type. Yeah. So my son like got his, because my son also likes those kind of things. He got his like tool belt and some of his hammers and things like that.
Cool.
And I'm just like enjoying this weird little fever dream of a life that we're all leading, because like who fucking knows, like truly I could be the next one to get COVID, and who fucking knows. And I just like, I get it, busy. Our brains are all broken, and I am so tired. I'm not saying like when people are like, I'm tired of being scared, I'm not going to live in fear. I don't mean that. I mean, I'm literally fatigued from being tired to the point where like when you say like I'm all cried out over something, like I feel like I'm all scared out, and like I just can't muster the feeling of fear anymore, and I'll be cautious, but I just feel like I have to get back to like doing some of the things that like, this is what life is right now. You know what I mean? Like, this is what my life is right now. And so I have to get back to not having this like specter of fear. Whenever I say specter of fear, I always think of Phil Spector, and he is also worth being afraid of.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, it's a fearful specter in my life and all of our lives when I'm just like, fuck, like, yeah, I want to watch that fucking movie and I want to watch Severance. And I'm not trying to pretend that none of this shit is happening, because it is definitely still happening. And like poor Steve here is just like coming out on the other side of it. So like, you know, I realize that it's like still happening till, well, I thought about it when the fucking sirens are going like by your apartment. Like sirens have always been a part of our lives, like living in the city. But now every time it's a siren, like I find myself saying like, you know, like I'm not much of a praying person, but like sending out a prayer to like whoever is in that ambulance, and that I hope whatever happened that they're going to be okay. And that's like, it's just such a weird way to be living. And so I'm just trying to like enjoy whatever this life is, because I don't know what's going to happen. Like, you know, I mean, what's going to happen when I go on that plane and no one else has to wear a mask? And you know,
I'm going to do it so soon, guys, to come see you. And then we'll have our movie theater party, and maybe it'll be a super spreader event.
Not for me, baby.
It's a lot, you know? So I don't know if that's like doing my best or like just doing the best I can. I guess those are two kind of different things, but that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm up to.
It's a lot.
Yeah. You know what? One of my favorite lullabies for cricket that I would sing a lot in the beginning of the shutdown, and it just like came into my head as you were talking, is the Nico Case song, I Wish I Was the Moon. Because it's like, you know, I'm so tired. I'm so tired. And I wish I were the moon tonight.
Yeah.
I'm so tired. I'm so tired.
So exhausted.
And I wish I were the moon tonight. Oh, that song's so fucking good.
We'll have to add it to our playlist.
Busy, remember when we went to that Flaming Hot Cheetos pop-up?
I literally wanted to talk about that the other day when I was doing the press for Rayo's, because I was like, the only other time I've been to a thing that was this cool was the Flaming Hot Cheetos pop-up.
Roy Choi, yeah.
Roy Choi and Flaming Hot Cheetos together for one weekend.
Really good. Yeah, it was really good.
It was delicious. It was so good. More of that, guys. Just more of that.
More.
I just want more of that.
More pop-ups.
More pop-ups, but like also, it's funny, like the Elon Musk thing. I know I'm coming back to it, but like, I read that article about Mackenzie Scott, nee Bezos.
Yeah.
Do we talk about this on the pod?
I don't think so.
I don't think so. And guys, if you don't know, Mackenzie Scott, formerly of Bezos, has given away, since she became a billionaire in the divorce, which, by the way, she rightfully deserves that money. Don't even get me started. She has managed to give away $12 billion in less than a year, which is the fastest. It's the most and fastest amount of donations, billionaire getting rid of their money stuff ever.
Yeah, it's incredible.
And she's like, just like, get it out of here.
It's
like,
a
get
bummer.
it into
It's
the
a
hands
bummer,
of people
though,
that need it.
She gave it to the KKK.
Shut up, Steve.
No, that's amazing.
Steve.
Fucking, how many billions?
12 billion she's given
and
away.
Still rich as shit. Like,
oh yeah, no. By the way, it's like that's a thing. She's aware.
They should all be doing this shit.
Know. They all should be aware.
Yes.
Like, there isn't an amount of money. Like, they couldn't possibly get to the point where they're like I think her goal is to like give it all away before she dies. I think she wants to literally get rid of every single.
Can't take it with you.
It's incredible. And like what we were talking about like Elon, about he paid $44 billion for Twitter. And what a lot of people are remembering now is that the UN said
the World Hunger thing.
World hunger could be ended for $6.6 billion. And Elon challenged them and said, if you can give me a plan for, a plan that would work to end world hunger with $6.6 billion, I'll give you that money. And they called his bluff and made a plan. And then, of course, that money never materialized. And so when you're thinking about like buying something like Twitter, which is like, has some value, but mostly the value is like
a vanity. It's a vanity project.
It's bragging.
Yeah. That for a fraction of that world hunger could be ended. And as we said earlier, that's a fifth of Elon Musk's like total worth. So he probably could still find $6.6 billion to end world hunger. So,
Easily.
Then you have to say like, well, anyone that has billions upon billions of dollars and isn't doing something like this, it's because they don't want to. Like it's the thing that women on TikTok always say about boyfriends, right? If he wanted to, he would.
He also said, I believe, that he would replace all the pipes in Flint, Michigan.
Yes.
And never, he didn't do that. I think he gave some water filters to some schools, which is still good, but like you could have replaced all the pipes.
I gotta be honest, Steve. It's not great.
No,
it's not great, Steve.
It's not great. It's not what he should have done.
It's also like fucking rebuild a school, bro. Like redo it all. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing with this? It's like, just don't understand. I don't understand.
Fix the pipes. That was the original plan, dude.
Yeah, I don't know. And then, I additionally have a problem with like dangling that carrot that you're going to do that and then you don't.
Don't say it.
Yeah. Yeah. And I know that he has fans and people that really respect what he does.
I think it's fucking bullshit because he moved his like headquarters to Texas to take the tax break, even though like he claims to care about reproductive rights and LGBTQ issues, but not, he's like, I don't get involved politically, but you fucking moved to a place where you're going to get a tax break, right? Like,
right,
that's
which is political.
That is political, actually. Your tax break gets political, bitch. So he and Grimes can take baby 1 and baby 2 and to the moon, as far as I'm concerned.
They might.
They probably literally could.
Yeah.
Well, they actually just, you're right. They might actually just do that.
But good for Mackenzie Bezos Scott.
Mackenzie Scott.
That's awesome.
Mackenzie Scott. Yes.
Let's just do her a solid. And
she dispensed with the Bezos.
She dispensed with the Bezos and she is fucking shaming all of those people. Like, truly. They say that it's going to change philanthropy moving forward. The way that she's doing this and the way that she's like just systematically getting rid of it is going to change how it's done. I have a friend who works for a billionaire who's trying to give a friend who works for a billionaire who's like got a foundation. She works for the foundation that the billionaire started to give away the money.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have to go. My hair and makeup's going to start. But
she gave $275 million to Planned Parenthood.
Wow.
It's amazing.
Oh, wait. All I was going to say is that, like, I have a friend who works for a foundation that is started by a billionaire who, is working to give away their billions of dollars or whatever. And they have all of these criteria and blah, 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 blah. And, like, obviously criteria is great, but you don't want to just, like, but it feels like from this article that I read about Mackenzie Scott, she's kind of just like, it's like a gut check. She's like finding things and she's like, yeah, that seems like you could really use some money. Here you go. Like she like this like black theater company was literally going under after COVID. I don't know how it came across her desk or how she saw, maybe she read an article. She's an intelligent fucking person. And then this woman just got like a call from someone and was like, this donation we would like to make this donation to you to like save
That's
your
amazing.
theater company. It's fucking amazing. All right, guys, I love you.
Busy has to go get hair and makeup to go do a thing. Steve, I'm so glad you're feeling better. Busy.
I am too. And it was so good to see you both. I love both of you guys. And let's really go to an iPic when you get
We really are going
busy.
to. I'm in.
We love you too, Biz. I'm glad you're feeling better.
Thank you.
And we love everyone listening. Thank you so much. And we'll talk to you soon.
We'll talk to you so soon.
Bye.
We love you. Bye.
I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm doing my best.
Oh no.